Good, very good. So this live is about Devin, the software uh, engineer, the AI software engineer built
Yeah.
by Cognition AI. So here today we have two software engineers and a finance. I don't know. You introduce yourself. So I'm gonna start with myself. My name is Yao. People call me Eder, and I'm a senior software engineer at Microsoft. Um, yeah, Thomas, why don't you introduce yourself to the people?
Hi everyone. My name is Thomas. I go by Tom. I'm a senior. Yeah, pretty
Cool.
much. Yeah. So back to you, Danny.
Okay, yeah. So my name is Daniel. I work in strategy, a mix of strategy and finance. And yeah, that's it.
All right, all right, all right. So me and Daniel host the 9 to 5 Wealth podcast, and today, actually yesterday, we had a lot of news about AI and the new software that are being built for automating away software engineering. One of those softwares um, is cognitive AI software engineer called Devin. So today we are going to talk about Devin. We are going to talk about the progress that are happening in the AI ecosystem. We are going to discuss how Devin might impact the software ecosystem, as in impact jobs, and also impact the development work that developers are currently doing, how that is going to affect, going forward, how companies are going to hire software developers and stuff like that. So if you like this kind of discussion, first subscribe to the channel and listen in, write your comments, and we are happy to have you.
Yeah, you know what there. I have a beef with people that have been watching our videos, right? We usually have more than like 300 views on a video, but there is no comments, no likes. So guys, I have beef with you, So please subscribe to the channel, drop some comment down there, and yeah, let us know what you think of this discussion.
Definitely, definitely. So one other thing, so we are going to this is how we are going to break down the video. We are first going to talk about the capabilities of Devin, the AI software engineer, the impact on the software engineer labor force, and also impact on software engineers themselves, how they work, and the companies. And at the end, we are also going to talk about how AI can not only automate away, knowledge workers like myself, and also how they can probably automate away um, people who work, blue collar jobs, you know. And so stay tuned. We have another person who is actually an AI scientist from Microsoft who has joined us. Hello, welcome.
Thank you.
So, like I said before, we are going to talk about cognition AI. I don't know if all of you have seen the news, but I was really, really surprised when I saw this. I was like, man, we kept saying AI is not gonna replace us, but it seems like software engineers have managed to code themselves out of a job.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Actually, that's what I thought as well. I was like, come on, what's happening here? If you are smart, right, and you are a software engineer, why would you take yourself out of the job market? I really
Right.
don't understand this. I was like, our software engineer will kind of end up on OnlyFans, or something crazy like that. But yeah, that was really funny for me. But yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Thomas, you
Thomas,
are
you're mute.
muted.
You
Thomas, you are
still
muted.
on mute.
Is it? Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yep.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So as I was saying earlier, I was like, software engineers, we just love to code. So
Right.
you hardly think about the business aspect or the impact in broader wise. So all I could say, like maybe just like the top 1% who brought out open AI, they just wanted to do something innovative. We didn't care about the consequences. So it's pretty much, it's not like we are coding ourselves out of job. We are just doing what we love. Things like that. Yeah.
What do you think, Elo?
I think I think it's really interesting how unpredictable everything is right now. We've developed large language models as probabilistic model, and you know it's playing out as a real and very it's playing out as a real and probabilistic model, right? Like it
Right.
is we can tell where it's going next. Um, so I think we kind of have to deal with it and see ways in which we can make our the use of our time more useful, right? Like, what else can we do? Should we now start farming? Should we? should- so yeah, I think it's really interesting.
Yeah. Great to hear all of your points on your first encounter with this new startup. I'm gonna play a video here, and after that, we will just talk a little bit about the capability of this AI software engineer.
Hey everyone, my name is Sarah, and I'm going to show you how Devin, our AI software engineer, can autonomously learn from a blog post. Within a few minutes, Devin successfully generated this desktop background image for me with my name on it. So all I had to do was send this blog post in a message to Devin. From there, Devin actually does all the work for me, starting with reading this blog post and figuring out how to run the code. In a couple of minutes, Devin's actually made a lot of progress. And if we jump to the middle here, you can see that Devin's been able to find and fix some edge cases and bugs that the blog post did not cover for me. And if we jump to the end, we can see that Devin sends me the final result, which I love. I also got two bonus images here and here. So let me know if you guys see anything hidden in these.
So that is the end of the video. Thomas, you can unmute now. Now that you have earphones, you are free to unmute.
Okay, good.
So you can see in the video that Devin is able to reason just like a software engineer. This is exactly what we do, right?
Yep.
Someone gives us a problem, or we at work, and someone gives us a problem, or code something, code a feature. If we don't know how to do it, the first thing we do is we go to Google, we go and search for how to solve that problem. And it's not like sometimes these problems are not going to be exactly what we find on the web, but we take bits and pieces, right, from wherever we are whatever we find through our search, and we combine them to create um, the feature that has been asked for us from us, right? So this software, this AI software is doing basically the same thing. You give it a blog post, it went, read the blog post, basically understood the steps that it has to take to develop the feature. Not only that, it planned, and this is something that software engineers actually do. Daniel, you know that we are building something right now, and you've seen me doing a lot of research and showing you just bits and pieces of how things are going to look. But I wasn't able to put everything together from the beginning. I had to plan to say, okay, I'm gonna use this technology, I'm gonna use this technology, and at the end, it's gonna look like this. But yes, you have to plan your work, and after that, you go. Basically, you will see here in the video that it went bullet point by bullet point to basically find. I'm just gonna pull that out so that there is a little bit visual for the people. So you can see here that it's showing what it's doing first. So it's cloning the code base that is required to perform this task, installing all the scripts, reading the instructions. So for every code base that you get, you are going to get this readme. This is what we all do as software engineers. We, we read all the readmes before we install these repos. And basically from there, it just started executing the plan and going to the web, navigating the web to find solution, installing um, all the code, installing all the packages, and even when it ran into an issue, it was able to find the cause of the issue and resolve it on its own. And this is exactly how software engineers behave. So basically, this thing is behaving just like humans. And I was super impressed when I saw this. Not only that, by the end, it was able to generate the image for the user and send them a, a link to verify it. So I went a little bit through the blog post that is on Cognition's website, and I was able to see that uh, in order to accomplish this, they provide a a sandbox environment, which is just think of it as a computer somewhere in the cloud where the AI will be able to have access to, a website. The AI is not really like navigating to websites like that. It's it's just sending requests to this website and reading the page. That's all it's doing. Okay. But the way they built the infrastructure around the AI is to show the user on the other side what the AI is doing. So whenever the AI decide to go to a website, they actually show it to you on the screen here. They also have a code editor where the AI will be editing code, and they also have a terminal where the AI is running this code, and when it runs into error, it can put log statement in the code and see what the actual output of the code is. And all this, and I really have to give it to the Cognition people. They really did a good job at building this tool because it's able to record everything from beginning to end, so you can actually play back whatever the AI was doing from beginning to end. And this capability is gonna be huge, huge for whoever is gonna use this, or even if it's gonna replace us. Uh, you know, it's still gonna be huge.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I remember that we had this conversation actually when we made, the pod about, the startups are dying, and I pointed out the fact that maybe in the future startups would need fewer software engineers because of AI, and you jump on me on the on the pod disagreeing completely with me, giving me your reasons. And when I saw this tweet and the video, I was just laughing here on my end, right? But yeah, I mean, for someone like me who is not in software engineering, my understanding of the whole thing is that what you guys do is to basically design and develop software, and also maintain and fix the bugs of those software, and then you do a lot of collaboration with product managers as well, so that you kind of build those software based on what they require, what the customer require. And by viewing the videos on the Cognition blog, what I realized is that it's able to do all those things actually in the video. So I'm not sure what's there that it can't do. And if these things are true, I mean, it doesn't look good for you guys. So yeah.
I'll defend myself first, man. So I'll let everybody speak first. Then, we can talk about it. Yeah, Thomas, what do you think about
Um,
how this whole system is working and the software itself?
for me, I'm not surprised. Like one company I was working in, like 2018, we were doing something similar. Even by then, AI was not big in the mainstream. So I've always said, like in the next 5 years, we'll have to find something else to do. We'll all be out of job
Oh
because we've been
no.
automating ourselves. Like, like there was a time we just have one prompt, even before generative AI. Then it's gonna generate all the components, everything. So everything that is left is just connecting the dots. That was what we were doing, like 2018. So fast forward 6 years, I'm not surprised. For me, I'm really happy. Because like most of the things that we do is like I feel like it's repetitive, it's boring to me, it's not challenging enough. So if this one can free our time so that I can focus on important stuff. But the only scary part is like AI are smart enough to generate their own data to train themselves. So and they're gonna outwork us. They don't need breaks, they don't have to go for lunch and all those stuff. So on toe to toe, I know we're out of industry. And it's good and bad. It's just like when the internet came, people lost jobs, but new jobs are going to be created for the vacuum that is going to come. Yeah.
All right, all right. So Tom came with the doom uh, prediction here, and he's totally on board with AI overlord. So I think he's doing it so that they leave him alone when they become sentient. So I'm not gonna comment too much on that. Elolo, what do you think of this new software and its capabilities?
Gosh, I, I think that it's going right now. It's going for the low hanging fruit, right? Like, you know, really being able to take specific tasks and do them really well. But I'm curious to know, like, is he able to reason about trade-offs, and when, like, as a software engineer, you're thinking, okay, like, how do I design a system, and you are making choices regards to your your constraints, right?
Right.
Your uh, designs and that kind of thing. Is he able to take a prompt and reason about those things and come up with the right the right design for your app? I I think those would be interesting to see.
Oh, I think
I'm not saying that those are impossible,
oh, those ones are
but
already out there. They're already out there. Just give it an image. It's going to scan the design, make it better, suggest for you. Like you're a data scientist, it's all about data. So once you feed the algorithm and write a better model, my only fear is like the models are able to autocorrect themselves or learn on their own. Then that one, you are pretty much like,
this is this is sort of what Devin is doing as well. It's Devin is able to tell when something is not working, and
Mhm.
it's able to take another another try. Do like so. Devin is basically running on um, fine-tuned models and an agent-based AI kind of thing, where whenever there is a task, there is an agent that is spawned and it goes through internet or is programmed to do a very specific thing, right? So if there is an error, for example, there is one agent that will be spawned and will go to the web and it will try to find solutions for the problem, or it will ask itself, because all these AIs are good at coding as well, or it will even try to debug just like a human by putting console logs. So it's already self-correcting, but it's it's programmed, is not doing it voluntarily yet, right? So we want, what Thomas is talking about is we will reach a certain point where it's not, it doesn't need to be programmed anymore, where it's gonna take the decision on its own to
Yep.
say, okay, this is wrong, I'm gonna do it this other way. Right? And after everything everyone has said, every people are all like, we are all in kind of an area where we are not too sure what the future looks like, but we can see a glimpse of it, where is a little bit uncertain for software engineers looking at these things. But I'm gonna take the completely other side of this and say that software engineers will be needed more, that we are not gonna go out of a job, and this is why. Okay, so what I'm showing here is someone who actually had access to this tool. I actually requested access, but I didn't get it yet. So maybe we'll make another video when I get it. But this person required access to this tool, and they asked the tool to create a chess board game. I I don't remember exactly all the details, but we will put the link in the description so that you can go and read this tweet. And from what we can see, like I said before, this AI can plan out whatever it needs to do, and this is the plan that it generated after the person asked it a do this work for me. And from what they are saying is that the AI is extremely slow right now, which is normal, but it's still like, if it can do it in 15 minutes, it might take a human software engineer. Can't believe I'm using this word, human software engineer, but it's gonna take a human
Welcome
software
to the
engineer.
future.
Exactly.
We are
It's
here
gonna take
now.
a human software engineer maybe about an hour to do the same thing, right? And what he noticed is that the UI that was generated, or the end product that the AI software engineer deployed, wasn't working. It was broken, and the software actually stopped working because it wasn't able to generate the actual product. So he asked it a bunch of other things. One of them was generate a text prompt from a GitHub repo using a Chrome extension. And that one it was able to do fairly quickly. And I was able to actually download the output of that project, and I installed it in my Chrome browser, and it worked. So if you provide a personal access token to the Chrome um, browser extension, is able to go to whatever GitHub repo you send to it and download all your code, pack it into one file, and send it back to you. So it's fairly advanced. Like someone who is just learning, like a junior software engineer who is just learning software engineering, this might take that person maybe a week of work to do. And he did it in what? Maybe less than 30 minutes, right? So this thing is already ahead of most software engineers who are in college. Right?
Like just like you are saying, like if you look at the job market, almost a year now, gradually junior software engineering role is getting out of, like, it's just diminishing.
Yep.
It doesn't exist any longer. So with this AI stuff, it's even going to be more difficult, especially those who graduated last year. Some are still looking for new jobs and they are still not getting.
Yeah.
So, huh, the earlier you embrace it and know your way around it, the better. I always see, like, few years ago, engineering, like hardcore engineer, like electrical engineering, petroleum engineer, mechanical engineer, were the technology, until IT became the mainstream, and then they all relegated to the background. So it's the same thing that is happening right now. Um, and with the advent of like generative programming, where you can just communicate in plain English, nobody has to learn any programming language. So once you eliminate that, anybody can become a programmer. So CS automatically becomes obsolete. It needs to be advanced to something else. So we are here now. This is the future you are living in now. So the earlier we accept and adopt and see how we can navigate around and work with these models, the better. I'll leave that on to Hello. He has been the one coming out with these models to change our lives.
I mean, on my side, what I would say is that the profile or the requirement for software engineer is going to change completely. So
I agree.
it's not gonna be based on, the programming side of things, because the AI can do that. So
Mhm.
I think it's gonna maybe switch to the personal kind of element of it, where you guys interact with your product managers, and basically this might become, you guys will become like HR, for example, right?
No, even not even just HR. Even that one can be automated. That one can be automated. Because basically, product owner, you know the requirement from the client. You are just checking against whatever the developers are doing is right or not with the help of QA stuff. And now AI is automating QA, writing test cases, doing all those things for you. So
All
Yeah.
right,
let's
all right.
see.
I so want to talk. So I want to leave time for Elolo to talk a little bit before I go in, because you guys are saying a lot of things that I don't agree with. None of it. Elolo, the floor is yours.
I don't have. I think with things that are inevitable, right? Uh, like AI um, taking up a chunk of, if not all of, like the workflows of a software engineer. I think our best um, option right now is to learn to evolve as well. I think I, what in the past people were purely software engineers, where they take requirements, design and go on and develop an app. But I think that um, it's going to be more and more important for these software engineers to evolve into people who can look at problems, you know, and actually be able to translate those problems into real solutions and know what to prompt the AI for. So being like business people, so like taking real world problems, finding the business opportunity, translating those into things that uh, can be done through a software application, and using AI or these tools to build a solution. And because of their background, they are actually gonna serve as the human QA experts, right? Like they know something about what the software is supposed to do to tell to know how to change the behavior, and get the right outcome. So I think we are all gonna have to evolve. Like, uh, so today, like PMs are the folks who are doing that kind of business, you know, business work and translating that into something that is an opportunity for software. But we also have, as software engineers, have to evolve into being business people. Really, uh, that's how I see it, though.
Yeah, I think that is a fair and balanced take.
There, do you know what? So in terms of looking at it on the positive side, right?
Yeah,
I think this is going to massively increase you guys' productivity in terms of the people that know how to use AI.
exactly.
And this is a good quote that Chamat says all the time, that AI is here to replace the people that don't know how to use AI. The people that know how to use it, you guys will stay. And that goes back to, evolving with, what we have here now, which is the AI. And going back to the profile again, the profile of the software engineer is going to change a lot, because now, all when we say software engineer, we think of someone with glasses like there, someone who will be a little bit nerdy, quiet, and etc. etc. But that will change, because I think the human element will be very important, where you need to, as Elolo say, translate problems to solutions. So you have to interact with the customer and stuff. So I think that's gonna change the profile as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you all made good points, and I wanted to. I was actually thinking about all these things before the podcast, and I sent out some tweets about this, and I think is this is what I believe. basically. You can read this tweet. It says the announcement of Devin is crushing the spirit of aspiring software developers. And this is literally one of them who is saying that I just want to know if I still need to study Python and full stack development.
I
I
was
saw this recently and makes the effort worthless, to be honest, right? And I saw this, I was like, no, this is not right. People shouldn't be feeling like this. And this is my answer to this, right? Someone who doesn't know how to code will find it difficult to use this AI tool, because at the end of the day, what we saw in the video is one person asking a question, right? Everybody can ask a question, but when this AI fails, when it runs into a bug, someone needs to tell it how to, what the bug is and how to fix it. Or even if he is going to fix it on its own, someone needs to tell it that there is a bug. So if you don't know how to code, how are you even going to know how to describe this bug or how to work with the AI to find a solution? So
I disagree with you on that. I will not
all
let you
right,
learn.
all right.
So
I'll
like
give you the
I know
floor,
I
right?
know you guys are with Microsoft and use Copilot a lot. That someone right now is Copilot, and I use Copilot for all this stuff that you are saying. Like someone needs to, if you have a bug, and you just ask Copilot, it's gonna tell you what is wrong, give you suggestions. Um,
Exactly. So think this is, you are a software engineer, so it's easy for you to do this, right? But take someone who doesn't know anything about software engineering, and while the AI is running, the AI thinks that everything is great, but you go to the website and you see an error, which is code like is like is not really human readable. It's not for someone who doesn't know anything, who doesn't know about software engineering. You can read that error and say, think, oh, this error is happening, right? And work with the AI. But for someone who is not familiar with these kind of things, it's gonna make it a little bit more difficult for them. That's what I'm trying to say here. That knowing how to code is still gonna be relevant, right? And I actually had a follow-up tweet about this.
You know,
Um,
before you show the tweet, right? To give a simpler example, that would be just using like ChatGPT. So people, there are a lot of people that are, I don't know, native from these countries, speak English and stuff, but in terms of like reasoning and writing good English, they are not good at it. And when you give them ChatGPT, they struggle with prompting ChatGPT because the things that they're asking are not specific enough or don't really make sense. While if you understand how these things think and how to ask good questions, you will get quite a good amount of stuff from ChatGPT. I don't know if you guys have experienced the same thing, but that's what I understood about the whole thing.
Yeah, I think I agree. I agree. I think that's what I was saying before in my submission, like that the software engineer is gonna serve as a human QA expert. So because he knows what he's doing, he knows how these things function. The software engineer is gonna be able to know when the model is going astray and guide it back to whatever outcome they desire, right? So um,
Okay.
you sort of need to know something about software engineering, maybe not to uh, to a detailed level, right? But you need to know how things work in software engineering to be able to know how to guide your program to achieve your goal. If you have no idea, it's the model is all it's trying it's hallucinating. So it's
exactly.
for every prompt you give it is giving you things probabilistically, and it's waiting for your feedback to give it to guide it towards that right answer. To if you don't know what feedback to give to the LLM or the generative model, you'll probably not get to the outcome that you desire. So
Yeah.
um,
it seems you're all driving to the same destination. Like let's use typical product manager or Scrum Master for example. If a dev turns product manager or scrum master, the team is very effective. But if non-tech or non-dev person becomes a product manager or scrum master, the team is always lagging behind because um, they're always lacking, like they don't understand their perspective in order to translate to their level and speak their own language. And if you are going by that model, we usually need like one PM and one Scrum Master, and we need a lot of developers. But if all developers are supposed to become Scrum Masters and developers to be an overload of these AIs, then we don't need a lot of developers. That transition is going to cut like 80% of developers out and just maintain 20% who can transition, because not a lot of developers are outgoing or, let me say, extrovert to easily adapt and become leader and start
Right.
sharing their ideas, become salespeople, understanding product and all those stuff. So let's see, let's see.
Yeah. That is a risk that maybe, right. Uh, Even though I said there might be need for more software engineers, I can't predict the future, but this is what I'm seeing, right? But what Thomas said also is something to consider, that this is a possibility that maybe we are not totally going to get rid of software engineers, but we are going to need less of them, which makes the person who was asking the question, hey, should I continue on this path or not, right?
No, no,
I will not say no.
I will
uh,
say
and,
no.
and and this is what I wrote, right? This is because um, if you always look at the doom or the negative side of things, you might miss a lot of things. That's how I approach life, right? So um, what I wrote here is, I will add, don't try to be a programmer, but learn to be a software engineer and you will be fine. What that means is that don't just try to learn how to code, actually understand how systems work, because that's most of our job. We architecture things, right? We put multiple systems together and we make it possible for all of them to work well and in symbiosis, kind of, right? So if you learn how systems work, you have a chance to still work in this business. But not only that, if this thing is can actually be licensed or is sold as a SaaS product, and me and you have access to it. Now, you said it at the beginning of the podcast that this will free up so much time so that we can focus on more important things.
Mhm.
This, if you know software engineering and you have access to this tool, yes, in big companies they don't need more engineers. But the opportunity that is now being offered to you is that you can think of a business and a software business and create this software business in half or even a third of the time that to you need if you were just on your own, or if you wanted to start something on your own or whatever, right? But if you don't know software engineering, this tool, you can do basic things, but is it because if I have access to it, that means that everyone has access to it. You still have to compete with everyone who has access to the tool. So to have that upper strength on your competition, you need to know a little bit more. So being actually educated in software engineering is going to help you in the long run.
Yeah.
So
Let
that
me
is
count.
how
I
I'm
Let me
don't.
counter
I,
you. Oh yeah,
I
Daniel,
yeah.
go ahead.
I don't agree with that. To be honest with
Me
you.
too. I don't agree. But you go first, then I'll counter.
So for me, it's like you advising a person to go into a sector where there is going to be job loss or job cut. It doesn't really make sense, to be honest. If
I think you didn't hear what I said.
No, no, no. Let me rephrase whatever you said. So, Ellen, what you said was like everybody needs to be an architect, solution architect. But let's lose this. Let's use situation on the ground. You usually have one solution architect per team. You have
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm
no. You
not
say you
saying
need
you
to
should
understand.
be.
No. Like in summary, understand the whole system and put everything together. You are describing the role of a solution architect,
Okay.
not a typical software developer.
Not
And for that
really.
role,
Not really. I don't see myself as a solution
No.
architect,
Hmm.
but I can put many systems together.
you are a solution architect.
All
Wait,
So
right.
wait,
you
wait. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Sorry.
I would say I'm just a software engineer, but yeah, go on.
go ahead, Daniel.
So I was gonna say that this person is, let's say, a newbie into the sector, right?
Okay.
There's gonna be job lost with more people with a lot of experience that are gonna be out there looking for a job. How can this kid that just learn how to be a software engineer compete with those people that have more experience and have more knowledge, about the job?
The,
For me, I think that's very, very that's like unfair. If
But
I were him, what I would say is go to, I don't know, switch from software engineer to hardware
go and
engineer or
farm
something.
carrots. Go to a carrot farm. No,
I
that's
gave
not
I
what I
gave
said.
I gave this answer to someone who was about to start college in Philadelphia. He wanted to do computer science, and I'm like, dude, by the time you finish in 4 years, your industry is over. So if you don't know what to do, go and do core engineering, physics, something core, just to understand those fundamentals. You can always learn technology, which is computer science, anytime. Those ones are not getting out of scope. So I advise that person, or you just go into business. So,
I
but
agree
like
with you.
to, so I'm just talking from experience. I advise a fresher, don't go and waste 4 years in computer science. Do
I
something
I
core.
I don't disagree with that. Like if you want to go to school and study maths and science, any sort of science, it doesn't have to be software engineering or computer science. But if it's just math and science, yes, I will advise you to do that over uh, going straight into software engineering, because to me, just like if you're able to do those things, learning software engineering is going to be super easy for you. So definitely I agree with Tom on that. But what I'm trying to say here is a little bit different. What I was the information I was trying to convey here is, if you are already on this path, right? All these people who are scared that, oh, should I continue on in this path or just go and start my carrot farm, right? Don't start your carrot farm yet. Just hold on a minute. That's what I'm saying. Try to understand. Don't do don't go and learn programming. Don't go to like a 6 months boot camp and get out and be like, oh, I know how to code. That's I'm not sure that's gonna work anymore. What I'm saying is, try to actually understand what software engineering is. Try to grow a passion for it, right? It's not just like knowing how to write code, but understand how systems work, how to put them together. Once you understand that, right, this gives you an edge, because the market is still going to be in competition, where a lot of people are going to have either prompt engineering skills or either software engineering skills, and actually having both is a good thing. And let's say they democratize this kind of tool, so where everybody and their mom can have an AI software engineer in their house, a lot of things are going to happen. People who weren't able to create software product before or launch software businesses are going to try to do that. And if you want to be in this industry, this software industry, or have a software business, you have an edge because you actually understand the fundamentals. So if you decide to, like, there is a quote that Sam Altman said that very soon we are going to see a one person $1 billion business. How do you think that is going to happen? Because of
Devin,
tools like this.
Devin.
Exactly, because of tools like this. So if Devon is democratized and you want to play this game, you have an edge if you know software engineering. If you don't know software engineering, you will work for someone who has created a company like that.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
No,
trying to say.
do you know, in investment there is something we call sunk cost, right? Is like the amount of time and money you put into a project, and you know that the future of the project is a little bit gloomy, but you still persist because you've invested something already. And if someone is in, software engineering, or the person just started, that's like the person's sunk cost. and you really need to get rid of that sunk cost because the future is very gloomy. And for me, that's what I would say. And referring to what you are saying, I agree that there's going to be, one person billion-dollar company, but that's not going to be, we are not going to have, I don't know, 200 of those. We are not going to have 1,000 of those. Those are going to be very few people. And to be that one person, it's, it requires a lot of, a lot of understanding of how the system works, a lot of experience,
Exactly.
a
That's
lot of
literally
things.
what I'm saying.
Yes, but so basically what you are saying is that the person should continue because there is a huge opportunity out there, but not everybody can get to that huge opportunity. It's just only few people, like very very tiny people. So I think, yeah, just switch and go to, a sector where the probability of winning is higher, while in the future in software engineering the probability of winning or becoming big or making, huge money is going to be smaller because, there are a lot of competition.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like is gonna uh everything is gonna change into uh top players and average players. So you you either become the top 20 people who produce the 80% of the value, or you are part of the 80% that produce 20%. Now the market is going to move beyond folks who are part of the 80% who are producing 20%. You pretty much have to I think we pretty much have to evolve into like real uh value creators. I didn't use real experts, but uh, intentionally, right? We are going to have to be real value creators, which means that we are going to have to be really, really good at several different things. Software engineering is one. Systems is another. Really good understanding of business is another thing. And several different things that make you into like the likes of like Elon Musk, a really good CEO, right? So, and these are the kind of the combination of skills that will make you into, one of those 20% that will create the 80% value. So for the new students or the new, high school student who is considering to something like doing software engineering, great. Software engineering is great, but that's just one of the many things that you need to learn now. You need to now go on to learn business. You need to now go on to learn interpersonal skills. You need to go on to learn. You can't be, uh, you know, just a software engineer anymore. You can't be just one thing anymore. You have to be several different things now for the future.
I think the word you are looking for is common knowledge now. Software engineer is now a common knowledge.
Yeah.
Just like you can easily create GPTs on OpenAI, it's the same thing. Anybody can go and create GPT. And
Right.
if you are lucky, it becomes 1 billion business. If not, you are below that.
Right. Right. So I think out of all of us, I think Elolo still has the fairest, take on this. I really like what he said about being having multiple ability or learning multiple skills, because what is happening is that the world is becoming more competitive, like on all fronts. So you can't just stick to one thing, learn one thing and be like, oh, I'm good, I know how to do this, then I'm not going to learn something new. Like, you have to look at different fields, basically. Be good at business, be good at software engineering, be good at other things that you can bring to the marketplace and compete. So I thank you all for everything, all your all your takes. They are very, very, very good. Um, and now let's move to the last part of this live, where we will be talking about the impacts on companies that are actually employing software engineers, right? And what I'm going to start with is a tweet that I made when someone uh, said that uh, I'm sure everybody knows Gurgly Oros here. He has a newsletter called Pragmatic Engineer.
Oh yeah.
He talks about software engineering, and he didn't want to promote cognition AI because you know basically this is kind of running is gonna run his own business in the ground. Like if there is no software engineers, who is gonna read his newsletter, right? So so he put out this tweet,
Do you
and
know? Maybe it's better for him, right? Because you guys are going to become like dinosaurs, so
yeah,
everybody
that's
will
what
go
I'm
and
saying. Like
and read his
if
blog.
he has like 100,000 software engineers reading his blog post, and all of a sudden there is no more software engineers, like Devin is not gonna read his blog posts. so so I responded with this: I'm at peace with whatever the outcome of this will be. Low code has come and still we are here. Most of software engineering is researching, planning, and architecture. Coding is the easiest part of the job. Yes, these tools will get better to be on par with humans. And this is true. And I continued. But if you've ever worked on a complex code base, you will know that it's not as simple as predicting the next word. The whole Salesforce monolith code base is between 30 to 60 gigabyte uh, of code and binaries. And it used to take about 1 to 3 hours to build. By the time I left, it was reduced to 30 minutes. I would like to see companies like Salesforce leave billion-dollar businesses in the hands of AI. AI replacing software engineers is like self-driving cars. It will work until it doesn't. What do you think of
Hey there, hey there, hey
that?
Who is going first? What is the order? I'll go last.
Actually, let me add one more tweet that I made this morning to this, and is in the same mindset. Will you trust a self-driving car to take you from San Francisco to Vegas without supervision? If your answer is yes, then you don't need to learn how to drive. If it is no, then you should learn to code. Devin AI software engineer is not replacing you in a billion-dollar business.
Do you know? I think you are too optimistic, and y- just looking back at the history of,
Pessimistic or optimistic?
I mean,
It
optimistic
depends on
about
what.
exactly optimistic about his job, right?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so I was saying, if you look at the history and our adoption of technologies, you will disagree with your tweet. So if I were to take the example of planes, for example, when planes were invented, there was a huge backlash as well. Nobody thought this would work. What company will using freight to transport their product, uh, isn't the plane going to fail midway? All those things were happening in when plane was kind of invented as well. So I think it just goes back to the adoption of technology. The beginning is always like that, but when it starts and the first adopters kind of jump into the wagon, I think everybody will follow. And the question that you are posing about a $1 billion company running its customers or some of their product or services using AI, I think that's just gonna become something normal. Like if you don't do it, you are not gonna make any money. And that goes back to the main, I would say, advantage that I see in this technology, which is the fact that it's gonna help companies in reducing a cost. In strategy, when we are, I would say, advising companies in general, the first thing that they look after or they look for is how can I cut cost. That's the only thing they are thinking about. That's the easiest thing they can do. So this is a way to cut costs, and companies will love that, and they just want to cut those overheads, people, non-people, just slash it around, and and the private equities, they will love this in their portfolios. All those companies that have huge overheads and are in the software or tech industry, they can really leverage this and cut their costs down. And I see this as a big advantage if it were to pick up, which is very at the opposite side of what you're saying. But
This
Le-
is why we have you here, Daniel. You
yeah.
le-
are the one person who is looking at the facts and the money. We are just the people who love to code.
let's look at 2020. What happened? That was a year almost everybody was hiring crazy. Why? Because everybody wants to ship faster, faster release. And for business, the faster you release, you get a feedback, the better you can make more money. And if Devin can increase your rate 10x, why hire 1,000 developers for something AI can do even overnight? Developers can only work 12 hours max. That is if they are going overboard. But others can work 24 hours, non stop, including weekends. So the 40-hour a week, even if they are charging Devin, like I know I heard like Amazon bots are being pegged at $3 per hour compared to typical minimum wage of
Human.
maybe 17 an hour. So back to Daniel, it's always cheaper to automate. The company is always going to choose cheap over any other thing. Like, and once you get to the top, Elon, and you are not a developer, that will be your priority. Like, so it's a matter of stages. So you just pessimistic about AI and optimistic about your role, but the next is going to tell where you go from here. That's
All
what I
right,
can say.
great point. Elolo.
Wow, I have a lot of things running through my mind. I don't know which one will be good to say,
Just
but
go for it.
I think there are I think AI is gonna cause a lot of job loss in areas where the outcome of uh, of the job is close to inconsequential in terms of like harm, or so like things like you know in the area of healthcare, for example, or in the area of money, or money management, where uh, the consequences are large, right? So if an AI doctor made a prescription and it ended up being a terrible outcome for you, um, I think that is not good. Similarly for the financial advisor who is managing your portfolio, if they use some AI trading bot to make this portfolio decisions, and you lose all your money, who are you going to blame? So there's going to be that human aspect where we need to blame someone for something. If an AI did all the decision for you, who are you going to blame? You know what I mean? So if similarly in the in the transportation, if you relied on a a self-driving car and you got into an accident, and the company made you sign all the disclaimers in the beginning that they are not responsible for whatever happens, and you got into an accident, who are you going to blame? We humans want to put a blame on someone for
Someone has
something.
to be responsible, basically.
Someone has to be responsible. And similarly, even in software, when you build a software, uh, when you build a software that is serving people for something. I don't know about like Twitter, or like things like social media where you know the consequences are not very large. But if you build a software, for example, that is um,
For planes, for
helping
example.
people with
Right.
lifestyle things like that, right? Like real consequential stuff. um and you know it does something wrong, you need someone to blame. You need
Right.
a software engineer who actually leverage the AI to build a software to blame. You need
Right.
that person to be responsible. So there's always going to be a human in the loop for very consequential applications. um just we just need a different kind of that human in the loop. That human in the loop has to be someone who understands a lot of things. That human in the loop has to have empathy. That human in the loop has to have a lot of skills, right? Software engineering, business skills. That human in the loop has to evolve into a unicorn, for example. you know, and so it's while going forward, there's gonna be less demand for people who can code and who can do one of these different skills. I think it will free up more human resources for other critical problems that we are facing, like I don't know, climate change, right, or poverty that we have struggled with for centuries and centuries. Like things like poverty. We've still not solved poverty in places like Africa or maybe
Yeah.
Asia, right? So um, I think that will free up more resources for us to think about other problems.
Okay. There, let me jump in real quick. So,
Hello
s-
with the fair take.
so you talk about financial advisors, right? If you had an AI tool that is advising people on how to invest. So on that one, I will disagree with you because we are building a financial AI tool and we need to make some money. So, guys, our, our our platform is coming out, so
You
we
see,
will we will
typical
break
human
you.
nature. Everybody's protecting their interest.
See?
Well, but it's not doing the AI. Your AI uh, software is not going to be allocating resources
No, no, it's
by
not gonna be
itself. It's
doing
going
that.
to
No, no,
provide a recommendation, and
Right.
exactly.
it's going to let the user
Decide.
uh, take that recommendation or not. So you still have, uh, you still take yourself out of the blame, right? Because you only provided a recommendation. Now the user can vote with their money after they use your app for a while and they are not making money.
Right.
They can vote. They can just move on to other things.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you are just making recommendations, not automatically assigning uh,
But
things.
on this blame thing, right? I think this happens already, right? If the AI were to come out, let's say in health, for example, people that die due to I don't know if you say this word in English, mismedication, or when you kind of prescribe like the wrong medication, right? The AI, they will run some experiment and say, okay, the number of people that die because of this is I don't know, is like 95% um or 5% error basically when a human being does it, and when the AI takes control of it is I don't know 2%. So AI is few percent better than the human being. So in that way they will just push it and then everybody will go to the AI. But that's just one example. I think one point as well that I think we overlook is about startups, and this is going to help startups massively because they need to build their prototype. They need to try new products, and to do this they don't have the money usually, and this will be very very useful for them to just kind of throw a lot of spaghetti at the wall, as people say, and that's going to be huge for them. So yeah.
Yep, you made a lot of good points as well. I'm with Elolo on this one. I'm gonna look at the glass half full, and and learn as much as possible about AI.
Yeah, is
um,
the glasses gang versus the non-glasses gang, right?
yeah, glass half full against glass half empty. All right, so we are almost at the end of this live. The last thing I wanted to show the audience was that AI is not just coming for software engineers; it's also coming for plumbers, electricians, people who work at Amazon warehouses. Any kind of blue collar job that can be automated away is also going to be automated away. And we have people working hard at this. Brett Adcock, the CEO of Figure AI, has recently raised about 600 or 700 million from Microsoft, Nvidia, OpenAI, Intel, and Oracle. And what they are doing is building a humanoid to just as similar to Amazon warehouse robots that they are building, but these robots will have more dexterity, can hold things, just like the robot they are building at Tesla as well. And this morning, he shared a video where the robot is running on the vision models from OpenAI and the language models from OpenAI, but all the other mechanics of the robots, like moving its hands, dexterity, and all that stuff, is built in house at Figure AI. So I have a little bit of an idea of how all these things work. I'm not gonna go into it because this has been a bit long. We'll do another episode on this, but I'm gonna just play this video, and then we'll end the live.
Hey, figure one, what do you see right now?
I see a red apple on a plate in the center of the table, a drying rack with cups and a plate, and you standing nearby with your hand on the table.
Great. Can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
Great. Can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
Great. So, based on the scene right now, where do you think the dishes in front of you go next?
The dishes on the table, like that plate and cup, are likely to go into the drying rack next.
Great. Can you put them there?
Of course.
All right. So, how do you think you did?
I think I did pretty well. The apple found its new owner, the trash is gone, and the tableware is right where it belongs.
I agree. Thanks, figure one.
You're welcome. If there's anything else you need help with, just let me know.
So this
Yeah.
is the end of our life. Um, This is what the future looks like.
It's not
I
the
hope.
future, it's the current.
It's the
It's here
present.
now. Like, why are you
No,
saying
I
future?
know it's
Future.
here now, but it's not ready yet, right? So this is what it looks is gonna look like in, I don't know, by the end of the year. A lot more crazy stuff are going to come out. I'm sure of it. So if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to our channel. If you enjoy having our you know enjoy the conversation that we had here today with our guests who are PhDs and big time software engineers from very, very big companies, please subscribe to our channel and comment as well. What do you think of this future? And see you in the next one.
Peace out.
Peace.